You get paid for hours. That is the deal. You show up, you get money. You stop, the money stops. That is the only kind of money you have ever known. You trade a day, you get a number. You trade the number for things. The things do not pay you back. So the next day, you go and trade another day. The math is simple. The math never sleeps when you sleep. It just waits for you to wake up and start again. Then one morning, you wake up and there is a deposit you did not work for. A few cents. Money that arrived while you were asleep. Your phone, face down on the nightstand, had buzzed once in the dark and lit the ceiling for half a second. You did not wake up. You find it in the morning. A deposit. 7 cents. The first money you have ever made that you did not have to be awake to earn. It should be nothing. It is 7 cents. You could find 7 cents in a couch. It changes something in you. You own 1 share. A grandfather you barely knew left it to you. A soap company he trusted for 40 years. The share paid you because you are an owner, not a customer, an owner. The word sits in your chest like a stone in still water, and you cannot know yet what that first cent is the beginning of. This is the road. From 7 cents to the day the job is optional. It has levels. Each one is a different machine. Each machine prints money while you sleep, and each one asks you to stop being one kind of person and become another. You will not feel the biggest day when it comes. That is the strange part. The most important morning on this road arrives without a sound. Level 1. The first dividend. You hold 1 share. The soap maker sends you 7 cents, not because you bought soap, because you own a sliver of the company that makes it. The factory ran, the soap shipped, the quarter closed. A piece of the profit found a list with your name on it, and there you were. You did nothing for it. You did not show up. You did not answer an email. You read the word on the statement. Distribution. You say it out loud in the empty kitchen. It sounds like a foreign language. It is. You buy 3 more shares from your paycheck. Then you find the setting nobody tells you about, the one that takes the 7 cents and buys more shares with it, automatically. So the 7 cents becomes a fraction of a share, and that fraction pays its own dividend next quarter. You just met the only thing on this road that never rests. You do not know it yet, but 7 cents is the smallest the number will ever be. From this morning, it goes one direction, up, and the direction is automatic. You will spend years not believing it. You keep checking the statement like checking a wound. You expect it to have gone backward. It never does. At level 1, you are not an investor. You are a worker who just noticed there is a second way to be paid. Level 2, the account that pays you to do nothing. You move your savings, $1,100. It has been sitting in checking, earning you exactly nothing. You move it into a high-yield account paying 4.3%. You do it from your phone, on a slow afternoon. It takes 9 minutes. The first month it pays you $3.94. You laugh at it. It is less than a sandwich. But the phone buzzes at night when it lands. A small green light on the ceiling. Money arriving while you slept. And you notice something. You feel the buzz before you see it. Like a held breath. $3.94 is not the point. The point is the floor. You built a floor under your money where the floor itself earns. You stop spending the cushion. You feed it. Your tax refund goes into it instead of into a weekend. You catch yourself doing the thing you used to mock. Moving money in on Friday. Not moving it back on Monday, because the savings is not a punishment anymore. It is a small employee, and you do not fire a good employee. The number grows in a way that has nothing to do with your hours. At level 2, you are not a worker who saves. You are a worker who hired his own money, and the money just showed up for its first day of work. This is around when Danny starts to matter.
Danny is your brother, 2 years older. He makes more than you, $11,000 a year more. A good union job laying fiber. By every visible measure, he is ahead. Nicer truck, better trips. You tell him about the dividend, about the savings account. He tilts his head. He says, "You are getting 4% on $1,100. That is $44 a year. Who cares?" He is not wrong about the $44. He is wrong about everything under it. Danny trades hours for money. Then he trades the money for things. The things do not pay him back. So every dollar Danny earns gets earned exactly once. Then it is gone, forever. He does not see it, neither did you, until the 7 cents. You keep going.
Danny keeps spending. The gap between you is invisible right now. It is a gap in direction, not in size. And direction is the only thing that compounds. Level 3. The tenant who pays down your house. You buy a small duplex. In a town nobody writes articles about. 2 units. One of them is ugly. Both are rented. You put down everything you have, and a little you should not have. You are terrified for 90 days. Then the first rent check clears. Here is the thing nobody explains until you live it. A stranger named Marcus lives upstairs, a line cook. He pays you $900 on the first of every month, and most of that money does not stay with you. It goes to the bank, to the mortgage, to the loan on the building. Marcus is paying down a debt in your name, on an asset that is yours. And at the end of it, the debt is gone, the building is yours, and Marcus paid for it. You did not know money could be this quiet. The phone buzzes on the first, the rent landing while you sleep, the same buzz as the dividend, the same buzz as the savings. You have started to organize your nights around it. You will not admit that to anyone. You learn a word that year, amortization, the slow erasure of a debt by someone else's hand. You Google it at midnight. The building is worth a few dollars more than yesterday. You own a machine made of brick. A stranger is feeding it. Then the furnace breaks in February. It costs you $1,900. You want to be sick. You learn the rest that winter. The rent is real, but the building is not free. Roofs leak. Tenants leave. A month goes by with 1 unit empty and your stomach in your throat. The machine made of brick does not run as clean as the machine made of shares. But by March, the unit is filled. Marcus is still upstairs. The first comes. The buzz comes. The building is worth more than the debt against it. You breathe. At level 3, you are not a renter. You are not just a homeowner. You are a landlord. A person other people pay in order to have a roof. The strangeness of that never fully leaves. Level 4. The portfolio that covers a real bill. The dividends never stopped. The one share is now hundreds of shares, across a dozen companies. Every quarter a small rain of distributions, all of it buying more shares, all of it buying more rain. You add to it every month. You stop checking the price. You check the income. Then one quiet morning, you do the math that changes the shape of your life. Your portfolio is throwing off $1,100 a month in dividends. $1,100. You look at your electric bill, your water bill, your phone bill, your car insurance, the whole stack that used to feel like a fist around your month, and you realize the dividends cover all of it. Every fixed bill, covered, by money that arrives whether or not you get out of bed. You sit with that. You were never chasing $1 million. You were chasing the moment a column of income met a column of expense and erased it. That moment just happened. On a spreadsheet, on your kitchen table, outside, your neighbor is starting his car to drive to a job he cannot skip. Then the other number breaks something in you. You run the math backward. To replace your whole salary in dividends, at this yield, you would need about $900,000 invested. $900,000. You are at $110,000. For 1 full minute, the number flattens you. 900,000 sounds like a country you will never get a visa to.
Then you notice the part Danny would miss. The portfolio is buying itself. The rain is making more rain. You never had to save 900,000. You had to save the seed and let the machine grow the rest. And the machine has been growing it the whole time you were panicking. At level 4, you are not a saver. You are not a landlord. You are an owner whose ownership pays your light bill. A worker who just felt the job loosen its grip by exactly 1 finger. Level 5, the thing that runs without you. You write a guide, small, unglamorous, deeply specific, about the one thing you actually know how to do, the paid search work that paid your bills for years. You sell it online for $39. The first month it sells 4 copies. The phone buzzes at night. A sale. While you sleep. The same buzz. Always the same buzz. But this buzz is different in kind. The dividend came from a company you do not run. The rent came from a building someone else lives in. This one came from a thing you made once and will never make again. You wrote it in 3 weekends. It will sell for 10 years. There is a word the wealthy say quietly and the poor never hear. Royalty. You get paid, again and again, for work you did exactly once. You build a second one, a small piece of software, a narrow tool for a narrow trade. It charges people $19 a month forever and asks almost nothing of you. You hire a part-time person in another city to answer the emails. The thing runs at night. The thing runs on holidays. The thing runs while you are at Danny's barbecue, eating a burger, watching him show off a new boat he financed at 9%. The payments are due whether the fish bite or not. You do not tell Danny about the guide. You tell him the trip was nice. He says, "Must be nice." He means it as a joke. It is not a joke. You let it pass. He works Saturday that week, double time, proud of the double time. You do the arithmetic in your head and it makes you quiet. The double time pays him $300 he will never see again. The guide paid you $117 that same night, while he was at work, while you were asleep, and it will pay you again next month for doing nothing. He calls it luck. There is nothing lucky about it. You built it on purpose, slowly. On the weekends he spent at the lake. At level 5, you are not a worker with a side thing. You are an owner of machines, several of them, each one chewing quietly through the night. And the version of you that traded hours for dollars is now the smaller half of who you are. Level 6, the crossover. There is one day on this road that everything has been pointing at, and when it comes, it is so quiet you almost miss it. It arrives on an ordinary morning. Nothing is different about it. You are eating the same cereal in the same kitchen. A nicer kitchen now. The same ritual. You open the statements out of habit. The dividends, the rents, the guide, the software, the savings interest. You add the month up. The number is $6,200. Then you look at your job. Your job paid you this month, after taxes, $4,100. For the first time in your life, in a single month, your money earned more than you did. This is the crossover, the day the second income passes the first. The day you stop being mostly a worker who owns a little and become mostly an owner who works a little. The day you could walk into the office and quit, and your light bill and your rent and your insurance and your groceries would all still be paid. At 2 in the morning. By a phone you are not even holding. And here is the part nobody warns you about. It feels like nothing. You wait for the fireworks. You wait for the chest swell, the "I made it," the call you would make if there were someone to call. It does not come. It is an ordinary morning. The cereal is the same. The crossover, the thing you organized a decade of nights around, slides past with all the ceremony of a bus going by. You feel, if anything, slightly cheated. The way you feel when a movie you waited a year for is fine.
You sit there. $6,200 of sleep money, $4,100 of waking money, and you understand the milestone was never the prize. The milestone was a line. The line where one machine got bigger than the other. The prize was somewhere else the whole time, and you stared at the line so long you forgot to look up and find it. At level 6, you are not a worker anymore. You are an owner still showing up to a job out of momentum. And the only question left is the one the 7 cents asked you that first morning, in the kitchen, in the dark. The one you have spent years refusing to answer. You call Danny, not to brag. You have never been able to brag to Danny. You call because the silence in the kitchen is loud. He is tired now, tired in a way the weekend does not fix. He tells you the union is talking about cuts, that the boat cost more than he thought, that he is going to have to work until he is 68, maybe 70, that the math does not close any other way. You do not tell him your math closed on an ordinary morning over cereal. You tell him it will be okay. You are not sure it will. The difference between you and Danny was never the $11,000 a year he made over you. It was 7 cents, and what you did with it, and what he did not. He earned every dollar once. You taught a few of yours to come back. That is the whole road. That is the only secret on it. So here's what the 7 cents was trying to tell you all those years ago while you slept. Money you trade your hours for, you can only spend. Money you teach to work, you get to keep, and it brings friends. The first kind runs out the moment you stop. The second kind shows up at 2 in the morning whether you are there or not. A small light on the ceiling, a single buzz, a deposit you did not have to be awake to earn. The job was never the thing you were trying to escape. The job was just the thing you did until your money learned to do it for you. Somewhere right now, someone is waking up to their first few cents of money they did not earn awake. A deposit, a few cents. It landed while they slept. They think it is nothing. They could find that much in a couch. They don't know yet what it becomes. They will learn. They always do. The money doesn't sleep. It just finds the next one. Their phone is face down on the nightstand. In the dark, it buzzes once. It lights the ceiling for half a second, and they do not wake up.